I'm SD, and today we're talking about one of the most annoying problems that you could have with any dress shirt, and it's the batwing. You know exactly what I'm talking about. The batwing, where you lift your arm and you look at the side of your shirt and you look like a flying squirrel. You got all that extra fabric under there. For whatever reason, your arm is all the way up here, but your armhole on your dress shirt is all the way down there. It's like down by your ribs, just kind of doing its own thing. It's really annoying, but luckily it's a really easy thing to fix when you are altering your dress shirt, if you're tailoring your own dress shirt. But there's a subtle little nuance to it that you want to be aware of before you dive in.
I think you should subscribe.
And as a beginner, this is a really easy mistake to make because you're going to look at it and say, oh, these armholes look ridiculous. I have really big bat wings. All right, I'm going to alter the side seams and that's going to look fantastic on me. And I'm also going to alter the sleeves too. But wait, okay, hold on. I'm going up the side of my garment, making sure that that looks good. And then I'm going down my sleeve here, making sure that looks good. But they connect at a certain point, right? Yeah, they do. And you're removing extra fabric from a very particular kind of sensitive area of your body. It's an area of your body where it's designed to move and rotate and bend and do this or that or the other, go that direction. Surely I could have came up with a better example than go that direction. So you can make your dress shirt look perfectly on you when your arms are hanging down to your side. You're gonna look at it and say, oh sweet, this looks amazing. But, hold on. There's gonna come a time when you need to raise your hand, you need to reach high up for something, and you're gonna learn very quickly that you made a very critical mistake. Because congratulations, yeah, you fixed your batwing, but you replaced it with a whole bunch of chafing. Now, luckily, it's still a pretty easy problem to fix. You just need to understand a little bit of geometry and a little bit of human anatomy. But don't panic, we're not doing any kind of like advanced math or anything. I've said this before. I failed 10th grade geometry. My daughter's going into 10th grade. Pretty sure I'm gonna have to help her. I have no idea what I'm doing. So that being said, you just need to understand why that angle, where the side seam and the sleeve, where they meet and why. And you wanna make sure everything is nice and balanced and even. You wanna make sure that if you took off a certain amount on one side of your garment, that you're taking off the exact same amount on the other side, because they can kind of throw off one of the two sides and one of them can come out fine and the other one, oh, you got some chafing. And don't worry, you're not alone. That's the exact mistake that I used to make in the beginning. I would think, okay, well, I want to alter this dress shirt. I want to fix this baggy, ridiculous looking dress shirt. All right, I'm going to take up the side seams here. Okay, fantastic, I can do that. All right, these sleeves, I need to fix these sleeves too. They're a little bit too big. Okay, well, I'm going to fix these sleeves. All right, well, what do I do now? I'm just gonna connect these 2 points here, right? Yeah, that's fine. Oh, it's just like a sharp angle. Well, that's fine. It's gonna work itself out. It doesn't really matter, right? And my sewing machine, it didn't care. It just followed the bad instructions and directions that I was giving it. And for the most part, on most of my shirts, it worked out relatively okay. Where I would feel that I would feel my side seam and my armpit there, and it didn't bother me too much. But there was a couple of shirts. I will never forget these shirts. There was a couple where it's like, I cannot take this. I ended up altering one of them one time, and I was gonna alter it for a wedding, and I made the mistake of trying it on really quick. I was in a hurry. I said, okay, cool, awesome, it fits a lot better. I'm going to a wedding in a couple of hours, and then I put it on, and that's when I started to notice that, oh man, these armpits, these armholes are way too high in this shirt. So let's go all full Dr. House and get into the anatomy and talk about why that even happens, you know, with your shoulder and your armpit and all that kind of stuff. Well, your shoulder, it's a ball and socket joint, right? Yeah, and it works fantastically. It's designed to rotate in all kinds of different directions and give you a whole lot of mobility. At least it did when I was like 20, not really as much anymore. It gives you the ability to reach up in your pantry on one of the top racks there and get down the Oreos that you're hiding from your kids, because apparently you don't have anything that belongs to you in your house anymore. As soon as they hear that little crinkle of the wrappers, they come a running, don't they? And you want your dress shirt to accommodate for all of that movement, and for the most part it does. Now, a lot of times the manufacturer, when they design a dress shirt, what do? They make those armholes really, really low. Well, why do they do that? Because it's going to be able to fit a lot of different people really, really poorly, but it still fits a lot of different people. And that makes sense for the company, but it doesn't make sense for us. A low armhole in your dress shirt is exactly what creates that ridiculous looking visual bat wing. Like, it looks ridiculous. And when you are altering one of your dress shirts, one of the main overall goals is to raise that armhole. You're trying to raise that armhole to be more in line with where your actual armpit is, and it's designed to smooth out that area and accentuate that area. You're creating a nice clean transition transition between your torso and your arm. But you can't just make a 90-degree turn from your side seam to your arm. Because picture that for a moment. Imagine you're sewing up on your side seam and then you sew that direction. You make a sharp angle that way. You've got a 90-degree angle, and you also have a point. Well, your body, it doesn't like points in its clothes. Like it gets all stabby and uncomfortable. So you don't want those two points to crash into each other. You want to guide them together smoothly and seamlessly. You want that fabric to sit nice and flat underneath your armpit. And based off of that, I recommend by going about 50 degrees for that angle. And your exact angle, it might vary a little bit. It depends on, the size of you and your shirt. So if it's 48 degrees or if it's 52 degrees, that's totally fine. But if it's 98 degrees, that's not okay, because that's the hardest thing I've ever had to do. And I can't stress this enough. It doesn't have to be exact by any means, but the overall goal that you're shooting for is you want a nice, smooth, seamless transition between your torso and your arm. So that's where test fitting becomes extremely important, because what you want to do is you want to pin up the side seams, and you also want to pin up the arms in the event that you are taking in the arms. And if you're not, you want to just make sure you go up to the armpit, to where the armpit is, and you want to make that nice and gradual as well. You don't want to just sew straight up and then stop. But when you try it on, not only do you want to stand there and see how it feels overall in your chest and your waist with your arms down, but you also want to make sure you raise your arms, raise the roof, and wave them like you just don't care. Wait, no, it's put your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. If I'm going to reference random things from 1992, I should at least get it right. Your shirt, if it looks good and it feels good when your arms are down at your side, but they do not, it doesn't feel good at all as soon as you raise your arms, you have some pulling in your chest or in your upper back. That means it's too much. And you also don't want to feel any kind of sharp pressure in your armpit either. If you feel sharp pressure, that means you've got two points that are going together like that and making it a little pointy thing and it's stabbing you. And you also want to make sure you understand the limitations of this alteration too, because yes, it can work and it will make your dress shirt look fantastic on you, but it can only do so much. And by that I mean, if your armholes are ridiculously low, again, if you're like hanging down by your rib, what's most likely happening is the shoulder, it's way too big. So your shoulder seam is most likely down here instead of up here where it should be. So that dress shirt, it's too big for you. So regardless of what alterations you make to it, it's still gonna look really bad. So that goes in that category of don't alter that dress shirt because you're not gonna be happy in the end. So around 50 degrees is a really good ballpark starting point, but it's not the number that's important, it's the overall fit. How does it feel? So play around with that number in the event that you need to. You might find a much better number that works for you, and if you do, fantastic. And don't forget, you wanna be modest about this because yes, you wanna get rid of your batwings, but you don't wanna do too much to that dress shirt to where the buttons are pulling at themselves. You're not gonna have a good time. And now that you know how to get rid of the batwing, I've got a couple of rules in regards to dress shirts. When you want to determine whether or not it's worth altering, or if you should just skip it altogether, where nothing you do to that dress shirt is going to make it look better. It's in the next video. I'll see you over there.